now that we've like talked about, at least what reading was like for you when you were a kid, and what it's like now as an adult, um, for how reading has changed over time for you as an individual, but also like the sphere just reading in general in society. Would you say it's taken a good turn, bad turn, or just a turn?
I think a lot of people are upset that they feel like kids don't read anymore. Um, but I would suggest to people that they are reading. They're just reading different things. Um, when I was a kid, my dad would get the newspaper every day, and he would read that newspaper, and our neighbor got the newspaper too, and he was reading all the same things my dad was, and the neighbor down from them was reading the same newspaper, and so the entire town read all the same stories. And so they had this narrative, this shared singular narrative of this town and who they were and what they represented it. And that's gone. And the reason why that's gone is because we have so many choices about where we can go to get our reading. We are not stuck to one narrative. We have all kinds of narratives to choose for. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I also think that it scares me a little bit in the way that you don't have that commonality between people anymore. So all these flat earthers, for example, they have grouped together and said the earth is flat, and they're not listening to the other people around them because they have not shared their narratives, their chosen narratives with the rest of the world, and they've not decided to go outside of that. They're just stuck in this silo. So before, where I think that reading was more of a community activity, it has now become more of a siloed, lonely activity, actually. And if you want, reading really should be a community activity. And if you want that community interaction, the community itself has to work towards that goal, but then you yourself also have to work towards that goal. So it has become more work. The good thing is there's a lot of opportunities. That's one of the reasons why they voted me in as Dover's Literary Laureate, was to promote not just writing, but the act of reading. And last year, our Dover Reads program with Linnea Heartseeker was just phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. We had one of our events was at the yarn shop here in town. I don't remember the name of the yarn shop. And it was standing room only in that space. And everybody had come together to learn how to knit, or actually not even learn how to knit, but to learn how to make yarn from wool, because the book that everybody was reading was about Vikings. And that book, that single book, this professional author that lived in our midst, that most people don't even know lived here, brought so many people together. And that was an effort that was not just encouraged by me, but it was encouraged by the library and having talks with the library. That was UNH encouraging me to apply for the position. That was who else encouraged? There was somebody else that said I should do it. I don't remember. There was a lot of people that came to me and said this is something you need to do, and so I did it. I was kind of forced into it. This year, which is my last term as Literary Laureate, so I really hope that we find somebody to take that mantle. Maybe your English teacher is listening to this and she can apply for that position. So we wanted to do the Dover Reads thing again, but the library is just not in a position to support us in that way because of the current renovations.